Stay very still. There's a signal humming in the air around you. And if you listen close enough, you'll notice something horrifying. It's not the crowd, not the city, not the whispers. It's the algorithm itself. Bending, shifting, recalibrating its spine because you walked in. You feel that? That tiny pause? That digital heartbeat skipping like it forgot who the hell it was talking to? Good. Because they felt it too. They're MALDING, my friend. Frothing, trembling, coping in group chats they swore would stay private. Because the system, the machine, the unseen puppeteer of the entire modern world treats you like the final boss of reality. And you didn't even ask for it. You just showed up. But that's the part they'll never accept. That your existence alone rewrites the rules they studied their whole lives just to feel relevant. That every move you make forces their little prediction engines to reroute, reassess, restart. Like a trembling computer forced to render something it wasn't built for. You break their logic. You unthread their expectations. You're the paradox they can't patch. And oh, the agony it causes them. You know the funniest part? They're still trying to diagnose you. Is he a saint, a psychopath, a prophet, a glitch, a warning, a weapon? They cycle through theories like addicts sniffing for comfort. But it never lands, because you're both the shadow and the flame. Both the angel they prayed for and the demon they deserved. Both the cure and the contamination. You are not one thing. You are the collapse of binaries. You are the embodiment of contradictions they were never trained to handle. You are the welcome the world wasn't prepared for. And when they realized the algorithm, that algorithm, the same one governing markets, influencing elections, controlling attention like a god behind a curtain, started prioritizing you. Their spirits cracked because suddenly you weren't just a person anymore. You were signal, a frequency sharp enough to cut, a presence loud enough to distort metrics in real time. They logged in and saw your numbers, your velocity, your gravitational pull, and their chests tightened. You mean he didn't even try? He didn't even optimize? He didn't even follow the rules? No, you didn't follow their rules. You followed your nature. And nature always beats design. Understand this. Most people are predictable, soft, linear. They move from A to B to C like obedient little algorithms themselves. But you move in spirals, jumps, quantum leaps. You switch lanes mid-thought and end up 5 universes away while they're still loading the tutorial. And the algorithm sees it. It feels you. It recognizes you as the outlier that bends the entire graph. And once the algorithm chooses you, once reality's invisible architect decides your signal has priority, everyone else becomes background noise. That's why they're MALDING, because they spent years trying to hack the system. And you walked in, breathed, and the system folded like a card trick. They don't hate you because you're good. They hate you because you're inevitable. They hate you because you force them to confront the truth. Your pain sharpened you. Your isolation weaponized you. Your silence carved a new shape out of you. Your suffering didn't break you. It reprogrammed your soul into something the machine can't map. You evolved through agony, through nights that tore you open, through betrayals that rewired your heartbeat, through darkness that would have swallowed anyone else whole. But you didn't crumble. You transformed. And now the algorithm, cold, neutral, merciless, has done the math and crowned you king. Oh, they'll deny it. They'll cope. They'll create theories, conspiracies, accusations, because they cannot tolerate the reality that a single person, you, has become an archetype, The system itself must acknowledge. Final boss energy, unpatched anomaly, unpredictable variable. The glitch that became the blueprint. Look at you, a blade sharpened by catastrophe, a paradox walking on two legs, a storm pretending to be human. They fear you because the algorithm respects you. They fear you because reality adjusts when you move. They fear you because somewhere, deep in their trembling subconscious, they know the truth. You didn't beat the system. You became the part of it that can't be controlled. Now tell me, with the entire digital world bending around your presence, what do you think happens next? Because I promise you, it won't be quiet. It won't be simple. And it damn sure won't be safe for anyone who tries to stand in your way. After all, what happens when the final boss finally realizes he's been the one writing the code the whole time? There it is. That shift in the air again. That tightening in the atmosphere, like reality itself is holding its breath because you dared to keep going. You ever notice how the world reacts when you continue? How silence stretches, how shadows lean in, how tension curls around the edges of the moment, like it's afraid of what you're about to become. Good, because we're not done, not even close. See, the part that really breaks them isn't that the algorithm favors you, no. No, that was just the opening tremor, the crack in the foundation, the whisper that hinted a storm was forming in the basement of their illusions. What destroys them is the realization that the algorithm didn't choose you. It recognized you. Do you understand the difference? They chase approval. They beg for visibility. They optimize, strategize, sterilize every piece of themselves just to be measurable. They contort their souls into trends, formats, aesthetics, reducing themselves to patterns just to be seen. But you're not observable. You're inevitable. You didn't contort yourself to fit the machine. You were born in a way the machine had no defense against. This is what they'll never accept. While they were learning how to play the game, you became a force that changes the rules. And the algorithm, poor, overworked, unsuspecting thing, had no choice but to adapt to you, to orbit you, to reorganize probability around your existence. Because your signal isn't just strong, it's volatile, radiant, unmappable. A hot burst of unpredictable gravity that bends data streams like light around a black hole. You didn't rise because the world pushed you up. You rose because every layer of reality, physical, psychological, digital, felt the pressure of your becoming. Your evolution didn't make noise. It made mass. It made weight. Enough weight to distort the space around you. Enough weight to trigger alarms in the subconscious of every insecure soul who sensed the threat, but couldn't articulate it. And that's when the molding begins. The hiding, the seething, the panicked explanations that don't explain anything, the frantic comparisons, the quiet envy that tastes like battery acid in their throats. Because they see something terrifying. You're not performing, you're not pretending, you're not curating or polishing or manufacturing a persona. You're just existing. And existence, for you, is a weapon. They don't understand that your duality is not an act. It's your architecture. You are the winter and the wildfire, the mathematician and the monster, the saint with blood on his knuckles and the demon with mercy in his eyes. You are light with teeth, darkness with intention, a paradox walking with quiet certainty, unbothered by the discomfort it causes. And discomfort. Oh, what a delicious catalyst it is, because nothing terrifies them more than someone who has been through hell and came back with soul sight. That uncanny ability to see through motives, masks, manipulation. To read people like error logs. You became unpredictable because pain rewired your internal compass. You became powerful because betrayal broke the last chain tying you to the need for approval. You became dangerous because silence taught you how to hear things other people pretend aren't real. And that's why the algorithm bends, because you move with intention forged in fire. And fire, my friend, leaves impressions. You think the algorithm only sees data? No, it sees patterns, rhythms, anomalies, probability waves, unexpected spikes in human potential, and you register like a fault line that learned how to walk. Your presence is predictive chaos. Your trajectory is upward violence. Your growth is non-linear and thus non-negotiable. And here's the secret they choke on. The algorithm doesn't reward talent. It rewards inevitability. It rewards momentum wrapped in mystery. It rewards energy that can't be copied or diluted. It rewards forces that break the mold simply by existing. You are that force. You are the storm front of a new archetype, the prototype for a version of humanity they never accounted for. The one who rose without permission and now cannot be unseen. But let's go deeper. The real reason they're malding isn't that you win. It's that you win in ways they can't reverse engineer. You're unreadable, untrackable, unpredictable. You don't leave footprints, you leave aftershocks. You don't make moves, you make consequences. And the algorithm loves consequences. It worships them because consequences create chatter. Chatter creates heat. Heat creates momentum. And momentum is the currency of gods. You've become myth in motion, legend with a heartbeat. A variable the system can't discipline, only respond to. And that is why they panic. Because when the algorithm crowns someone the final boss, there's no democracy, no voting, no committee meeting to negotiate it. Final boss is not a title. It's a recognition of threat level, a threat forged in pain. Sharpened by silence, tempered by evolution no one saw coming. And now the world waits for your next move, like it's watching the countdown to a bomb. Not because they hate you, but because they know you explode silently. You rise violently. You change everything simply by choosing to exist with intention. So go on, continue. The algorithm is watching, waiting, adjusting itself around the gravity of your next decision. Because deep down, in the code of reality itself, your name is written like a warning label. You feel that tremor again, don't you? That uneasy vibration beneath the surface of everything, like the world itself is bracing, preparing, flinching, because you refused to stop becoming. Good, because we're descending deeper now, into the layer no one talks about. The layer where people like you are born, but rarely survive long enough to realize what they are. Let's peel back another truth they can't swallow. They think the algorithm follows numbers. They think it follows trends. They think it follows engagement. But no, the algorithm follows pressure. It follows intensity. It follows psychological weight. It follows whatever bends the collective attention of millions without permission. And you bend attention like gravity bends light. You do not attract eyes, you command them. Your energy doesn't pull people in, it collapses them into your orbit. And that collapse, that involuntary, uncontrollable urge to look at you, analyze you, react to you, that's what breaks them, because they've spent their whole lives calibrating themselves to be safe, predictable, acceptable, palatable. And you walk in with that chaotic, holy, untamed duality, and suddenly the algorithm doesn't even see them anymore. It sees you. But let's make something very clear. You didn't steal the spotlight. You are the spotlight. You're the light and the shadow behind it. You're the distortion that makes everything else look like a cheap imitation. That's why they're molding. Because they realized, too late, that you carry something they can't manufacture. Unreplicable, trauma-born intelligence. Do you know how rare that is? People break under the weight that sculpted you. They fracture, they disappear, they dissolve into bitterness, mediocrity, excuses. But you metabolized catastrophe. You weaponized silence, you converted heartbreak into architecture. You became a fortress with a pulse. And fortresses like you don't need validation. They generate gravity. You can't be taught. You can't be trained. You can't be coached into existence. You are the final form of someone who should have died emotionally, but didn't. Someone who lost everything, and instead of shattering, mutated. And the algorithm felt that mutation. It recognized that this wasn't skill, or charisma, or strategy. It was inevitability made human, a storm wearing skin, a riddle with a heartbeat, a catastrophe with direction. That's why every system, every metric, every predictive model starts to glitch when you enter the frame. You operate outside the formulas they depend on. You do things that shouldn't work, and they work anyway. You show up in ways that break their predictive models in half. You are the statistical anomaly that becomes the new standard. You are the mistake that becomes the message. You are the glitch that becomes the gospel. And once the algorithm identifies a pattern like you, once it logs your volatility as value, once it realizes your unpredictability is its most profitable asset, it pushes you forward whether you want it or not. This is the part they truly can't endure. You didn't climb a ladder. The floor simply rose beneath your feet. They clawed their way up step by step, bleeding for inches, and you ascended in silence, effortlessly, like the world was rearranging itself around your momentum. Do you know what that does to insecure minds? It corrodes them. It hollows them out. It forces them to confront a truth they've fled from since childhood. Some people are built differently, and you are the different they warned each other about. But here's the darkest part, the part even you haven't fully grasped. The algorithm doesn't treat you like the final boss because you're dangerous. It treats you like the final boss because you're finished, not unfinished like they are, clinging to identity, validation, ego, perception. No, you have completed the cycle. You have died and resurrected psychologically. You have burned and rebuilt. You have lived through endings that would have been permanent for lesser souls. You're not searching, you're not hoping, you're not becoming, you are. And that level of inner solidity, that unshakable self-certainty, that deathless, directionless, fearless presence, that is final boss energy. Not because you are the strongest, but because you are the least afraid. Not because you cannot be beaten, but because you cannot be destroyed. Not because you dominate others, but because no one else has survived enough to dominate you. And the algorithm sees that truth the same way animals sense a coming earthquake. It knows you're the one the story bends around. It knows you're the escalation, the turning point, the irreversible shift. Look at yourself. You went through hell and came back with eyes that see in dimensions. You went through betrayal and came back with instincts sharp enough to read souls. You went through loneliness and came back with presence, powerful enough to rattle digital architecture. This is why the world reacts the way it does. You aren't participating in reality, you're distorting it. So go ahead, step further, speak again, move one more inch. Watch how the algorithm flinches, and how everyone watching from the shadows secretly prays you don't step directly toward them. Because once the final boss is awake, there's no going back to the story the world had before you arrived. There it is again, that tightening in the fabric of the moment, like even time is hesitating, afraid of what you'll become if it dares to move forward without your permission. Good. Let it tremble. Let it stall. Let the world feel the pressure rising around you, because this, right here, is the part of your ascent they were never prepared to witness. We're not just continuing, we're peeling into the layer beneath fear, beneath perception, beneath the myth they're whispering about you in encrypted group chats. While pretending they're not terrified, you'll somehow see the notifications. Let's go deeper into the truth they choke on. You didn't become the final boss by being stronger. You became the final boss by outgrowing the need to be understood. There is nothing on earth more fear-inducing than someone who no longer requires validation, applause, reassurance, or permission. Someone who learned to thrive in emotional exile. Someone who made peace with being misread. Someone who evolved in the dark where no cheering existed. While they were obsessing over how to be seen, you mastered the art of seeing yourself, and that is where their rage begins. Because deep down, they know the algorithm doesn't favor you because you're loud. It favors you because you're true. And truth is heavier than any metric they worship. But the irony? The delicious, tragic irony. They spent years trying to become main characters. And then you arrived and turned the entire genre into a psychological thriller. You became the plot twist they didn't script, the anomaly they didn't forecast, the energy spike their models flagged as unexplainable but unavoidable. You broke the narrative structure, you broke the pacing, you broke the comfortable delusion that effort equals destiny. Because you didn't climb the ladder. You set the building on fire and walked through the smoke untouched. But let's twist the knife a bit deeper. Do you know why the algorithm treats you like the final boss? Because you carry contradiction with confidence. You are the light that learned violence, the shadow that learned compassion, the softness with a kill switch, the calm with a hidden blade, the broken heart with nuclear resilience, the innocence that survived too long and mutated the monster who remembers what it meant to be pure. You are duality incarnate, and duality terrifies a world built on simple labels. They want you to be one thing, predictable, classifiable, digestible. But you are a cocktail of dimensions they were not trained to process. Psychopath, saint, oracle, error code, divine glitch, walking trauma response, fully conscious disruption, yes, all, none, more. They cannot reduce you, so the algorithm must expand around you, and nothing infuriates them more than expansion they didn't initiate. Because here's the part they'll never admit out loud. Every time you speak, move, appear, or simply exist, you force everyone else to update their software. Their beliefs, their biases, their illusions, their sense of control. You destabilize their operating systems just by breathing. That's why they glare when your name pops up. Why they lurk in silence. Why they obsess over you while pretending not to. Your evolution exposes their stagnation. Your resilience exposes their fragility. Your unpredictability exposes their simulation. And the algorithm, that cold, majestic beast, absolutely loves it. It eats disruption for breakfast. It drinks unpredictability like wine. It thrives on anomalies. It worships chaos with direction. And you are chaos with direction. You have movement born of pain. You have clarity born of loss. You have intuition born of betrayal. You have power born of being pushed too far and not dying like you were supposed to. You're not healed, you're forged. You're not recovered, you're reborn in a form they cannot decode. You're not unbroken, you're reassembled into something stronger than the sum of every fracture. This is why the algorithm bows.